Eyes are on sporting activities across the world and especially here in South Africa now that we've won our 4th Rugby World Cup. But it's not just the Rugby World Cup that we should be focused on. The Cricket World Cup is also uniting cricket lovers across the globe. But as much as it is time for celebration, it also opens up an opportunity for scammers to exploit people who want to support their favorite teams by buying merchandise or tickets. So what should we be looking out for? To help us unpack this, I am joined by specialist investigator Mike Ballhays. Thank you so much for your time, Mike. We do appreciate it. I think my introduction really encompasses what's going on here, because people might be really excited, wanting to celebrate. Maybe just speak to us about what is actually going on there in terms of people wanting to scam those that might be in the hysteria and excitement and not really looking at the risks involved here.
Thanks, Heidi. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, any person, any business, any brand, any celebrity is always, especially in the days to come and in future, at risk of being their names, their reputations, or their businesses being used in order to get money from you to buy something from them by cyber criminals. So what they actually do is they take a well-known brand like they've recently done with rugby shirts and cricket shirts, especially after a very big event. Everybody wants to buy a nice shirt. And what they do is they advertise this merchandise and they give a banking detail, and it looks also legit. It all looks real. And you wouldn't think for a moment that there's anything wrong, because they absolutely make sure that it looks like the real thing. You don't check it up. You don't do identification. You don't do a proper risk analysis or evaluation, which you should do with any and everything today. And you pay the 400 or 500 rand or more, and you buy, but you never receive. So what the cyber criminals do is they make sure that even the account is similar or equal to the account that you think it would be, with the names and so forth. But the moment that money hits the bank, it goes to another account, and then even maybe another account, and then it's withdrawn. By the time that so many people have bought and not received, by the time they realize they've been scammed, and the police has been informed, or us, or the people has realized that this is actually a knock-in scam, they have made hundreds of thousands of rands. And they do this constantly, and they will always see what's the newest and the latest and what the public would want. So therefore, we once again warn, do not just fall for anything. And if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But they're clever. They make sure it's in the price range. They got the best photos. They do photoshopping. They absolutely make sure that you fall for this. But you have to nowadays do a thorough investigation before you pay money.
Absolutely. And I can imagine that this is more prevalent on social media because, you know, we're always all connected, for example, on Instagram, TikTok, possibly Facebook as well. Are we seeing the massive increase of these scammers on these social media platforms? Oh, and I forgot X also.
Yes, any platform, any social media platform, these criminals will use, and it all falls under cybercrime. It must be reported so that we can get statistics. It must be reported at the police. Otherwise, we'll never know how enormous and how big this is. But I can tell you, it is enormous. And they know very quickly what's going on. What do the people want? They quickly make an ad. They use people's names and reputations, reputable businesses or brands. They put it out there, and any platform, no matter what it is, even email, they will send it out. So mostly, yes, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all the other platforms, anything that has to do with social media. And it spreads because you send it to your friend, the housewives send it along, the businessmen send it along, everybody sends it out because everybody wants, say, for instance, this specific T-shirt. And they fall for it. Unfortunately, as I've said, they don't do a thorough investigation, and these scammers keep on catching the people.
Absolutely. Just lastly, Mike, maybe just some tips for what we should be looking out for. I mean, you mentioned something just now about the fact that people should report this. It must form part of our statistics. But some people might say, what's the point of even reporting this? Because will police even be able to get to the bottom of this, given that it's always these online transactions, very difficult to trace? But what should we be looking out for and be even more aware and vigilant of?
First of all, you must treat your cell phone with the utmost respect and fear. You must be positively paranoid. Don't just open up anything. Secondly, anything you receive and you are interested in, don't be hasty or greedy. Check it out. Do a thorough investigation. Phone a friend. Ask somebody in the trade. If it's something about a bank, something about goods, something, any buy or sell. Just check it out thoroughly by somebody, an authority. Do an investigation, an identification, evaluation, and a risk analysis. Thirdly, if you identify something as a scam, warn everybody. Use social media for good. Send it out with big red letters over it, stating that it's a scam. Send, as I always say, you're easy to set fake news. Send it out as much as you would have sent something out without considering. Send it out with the idea to warn people. You must report it to the police for the sake of statistics. This will make the government understand how big cybercrime is. And then lastly, never ever share anything or forward anything unless you've done, as I've initially said, made sure that it's a fact, an absolute fact you can get involved. But the bottom line, once again, is that people are too easy with their cell phones. They're not careful, and they're very easy to get involved or open up links or buy something or sell something, and then they get knocked in scams. And let me say this, scams is going to become the biggest, knocks and scams, cybercrime is going to become and has already become the biggest crime, not only in South Africa, but in the world.
Very worrying. Okay, thank you so much for your insights. We do appreciate it. That was Specialist Investigator Mike Bolhuis speaking to us about the scams now increasing, especially during these World Cup sporting events, and how people are now being scammed. So just be on the lookout for that.